Our final video in this section will focus on how you can find help when you need it. Ubuntu Server is pretty intuitive. If you need help with something, there are different ways to get the help that you need. The first thing that I'll show you is how you can actually open up the manual by issuing man, and then the command that you're curious about. So if you see a command, you want to know a little bit more about it. If you want to know more about its options, you can issue man for manual, and then a space, and then the program name, in this case cat. And you'll see what ends up happening here. You get the name of the program, it's cat. What it does, it concatenates files and print on the standard output. Oh, very cool. All right, and you have your options here. You can see what it does right in here. So if you're curious about any program, and then you use Q to quit out of the manual. If you're curious about any program, you're not sure what it does, you may have seen me issue the dfh command before just in passing, and so you can use the manual on df and you can see, what does df do? Well, it reports the file system disk space usage. Oh, pretty cool. And then you can scroll down and see what does the h option, the lowercase h option, do. It makes it human readable. So this way you can look at a program and figure out what it can do and the options that it has. And because we don't have a graphical user interface, so you're not going to see a checkbox or a drop-down list of what a program can do. You'll need to know what it can do, and you'll have to tell it using options exactly what you want it to do. Let's look at Rsync, because we've talked about that for copying files, and Rsync has a lot of options. So we can scroll down to find out what all of those options are. This manual actually has some very helpful examples here that you can see. So depending upon what you're trying to accomplish with Rsync, it's giving you some examples of how you can do that. You can see there's a lot of information in this manual here. And so this is one way to find help when you need it. And here's the complete list I wanted to show you of the Rsync options. So, we used A, V, Z, and the capital P options in our lesson, but there's plenty more that this can do. Even something like Pseudo, you can go ahead and, open it up and see that it has some options associated with it. So that's one way to get help if you want to read more about a particular program. Another way to go about it would be to, let me use Rsync, to just try and see if it has a help option. So notice what I did there. I typed in Rsync and then a hyphen and then help. And that opened up for me a list of some options here, so that I know what it does. So I didn't open up the manual. It didn't tell me things I didn't need to know about it. It mostly just tells me the options that I have. I wanted to try it with cat here. You see, cat, invalid option, H, try cat with 2 hyphens. So you see how helpful Ubuntu Linux is being here. It's trying to help you out. It's trying to let you find what you need to find. So if you're having difficulty, you can use man to open up the manual, or you can try to use a help option, and it's just going to vary by program, from program to program, whether it's going to be, in this case it was Rsync with a single hyphen and then help to get in to open up Rsync's help menu. But then with cat, it was actually 2 hyphens. So that's just something program to program that'll be different. But remember that when we tried the single hyphen there, how cool that is, that it tells you, hey, try cat with 2 hyphens. So and that's what it'll do if I do anything. Like if I do cat and then an option like 4. I put in a weird option and cat's like, hey, I don't know what you're trying to do. Let me help you out by telling you can get to my help. You can get to the help screen by issuing the following command. That's probably similar here. Let's try and issue like Rsync 5, unknown option. Okay, so see, this one's not quite as helpful. It doesn't tell you to issue help there like cat does. Again, these things vary from program to program, but if you're having difficulty and you're not quite sure how to get the help that you need, either try man to open up the manual and then the command, or see if it has some sort of help menu. And that will really assist you in not having, you don't have to memorize everything that these programs can do. If you know how to get help when you need it, if you know how to pull up their help screen, then you don't have to memorize everything the program can do. You can figure out what it can do on the fly, so to speak. So that's how you can find help in Ubuntu Linux Server.